Welcome back, Bfit community. The rise of COVID-19 has changed the way we manage everyday routines. At Bfit, we want to assure you that we're doing our part to create a safe and sanitary environment at campus. As we transition from quarantine to classroom, we have some important points we need to work on together to make sure we're doing our part. There are important new guidelines for entering and exiting the building, how to move around once inside the building, and how to protect yourself and others if you are exposed to or test positive for COVID-19. We're also implementing enhanced cleaning and disinfection. Transitioning back to campus. While COVID-19 has challenged us and changed the world around us, know that we are investing significant time and resources to provide our faculty, employees, students, and families peace of mind that when they're among their Bfit family, their health, safety, and support needs are our top priority. Returning to campus. With the return of students, faculty, and staff, enhanced cleaning and disinfection will occur across campus with increased cleaning frequency in common areas and high touchpoint areas, consistent with CDC guidance to institutions of higher education. COVID safety training. The provided training presentation and guidebook was developed to meet the requirements of the City of Boston and State of Massachusetts COVID-19 reopening plan for academic institutions. To meet these requirements, Bfit has instituted a number of protective measures and policies in which the entire Bfit community will have an active role in helping Bfit maintain a healthy and safe environment for all. Upon completion of this training, please review and sign the last page of the guidebook and submit the acknowledgement form to the security desk when you arrive on campus. Introducing the Daily ClearPath Questionnaire. To help everyone feel confident about this transition, we've developed an interactive app called ClearPass to help each student self-check for COVID-19 symptoms before entering campus. Using this self-checking software tool will help us as a community make sure that we remain aware and efficient in keeping classrooms as safe as possible. Follow these 3 steps prior to each time you come to campus. Step 1. Before coming to campus, log into ClearPass and answer the health assessment questions. Step 2. If you display symptoms of COVID-19, do not come to campus and please contact the Bfit COVID Safety Task Force at safety@bfit.edu. Step 3. Once the ClearPass questionnaire is completed with a symptom-free result, you will receive a code on your phone. Please show this code to the security officer at the front lobby of 41 Berkeley Street in order to enter the building. If all 3 steps are not completed, you will not be allowed to enter the campus. The campus hours of operation are 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday through Friday. On campus, everyone, including faculty, staff, students, visitors, and vendors, must enter Bfit only by the 41 Berkeley Street entrance and must exit Bfit only by the Appleton Street exit. All persons must check in with security and complete the self-assessment check-in process. Unannounced guests will not be allowed to enter the building. Any guests other than students and staff need to be cleared with security the day before their requested arrival. All persons must agree to stay away from the college if they are sick. In the event that a person is unable to come to the college because they are sick, they should notify their supervisor or instructor. Everyone will read and follow COVID-related signage throughout the college. All persons must go directly to their scheduled classroom. All students must remain in the classroom or in a designated study area if on break from class. No one should be on campus unless they are actively attending an in-person course that day. Some key guidelines for Bfit's return to campus. All faculty, staff, and students must practice the following safety measures, even if they are feeling well, as many individuals can remain asymptomatic. In following these measures, you are helping to protect yourself, your family, your neighbors, your colleagues, our students, and the entire BFIT community. Monitor your health daily. If you're not feeling well, remain home and report symptoms to your healthcare provider. If you test positive for COVID-19, you need to alert the Bfit COVID Safety Task Force at safety@bfit.edu. Bfit is implementing the ClearPass app for daily health checks that will make it easy for everyone to monitor symptoms and have healthcare guidelines at their fingertips. In addition to checking for symptoms related to COVID-19, we ask that you take your temperature at home daily before reporting to campus. If your temperature is 100.4 or higher, you need to stay home, contact your physician, and notify the BFIT COVID Safety Task Force at safety@bfit.edu. We may ask you to submit to temperature testing on campus as part of our health protocols and policies. If you test positive for COVID-19, you must notify the BFIT COVID Safety Task Force and you must isolate at home until you recover. Please review the CDC guidelines of self-isolation. We will respect your privacy to the extent possible, given contact tracing requirements per state and CDC guidelines. If you have had any exposure in a non-socially distanced setting, again, email the Bfit COVID Safety Task Force at safety@bfit.edu. What are the symptoms of COVID-19? COVID-19 typically causes mild respiratory illness, but can cause severe disease, including pneumonia-like illness. Symptoms may include any of the following: fever, cough, shortness of breath, headaches, chills, muscle aches, sore throat, fatigue, congestion, runny nose, loss of sense of taste or smell, nausea, vomiting, and/or diarrhea. Symptoms typically begin 2 to 14 days after exposure. If you test positive for COVID-19, your healthcare provider will advise you on procedures to follow, such as self-quarantining. Immediately let BFIT know, as we need to implement control measures such as cleaning and disinfecting the workplace or notifying Bfit members that may have been exposed. If you test positive for COVID-19, we are here to help you. Remember, you must notify the Bfit COVID Task Force by sending an email to safety@bfit.edu, and you should isolate at home immediately until you've made a full recovery. Please review the CDC guidelines on self-isolation. And please note that this information is kept confidential. If you may have been exposed to someone who is COVID-19 positive, but you are not exhibiting any symptoms yourself and you have not tested positive, you are still required to notify Bfit and self-quarantine. Individuals should self-quarantine for 14 days regardless of any negative test results during the 14-day period. Please note that this information is also kept confidential. Boston Public Health Commission provides assistance. The BFIT COVID Safety Task Force will notify the Boston Public Health Commission in the event that a student, faculty, or staff member is COVID positive, and provide isolation or quarantine support as needed. The Boston Public Health Commission will contact the COVID positive individual to assist in contact tracing and health monitoring via the Community Tracing Collaborative, or CTC. Boston Public Health Commission and the Community Tracing Collaborative will coordinate the following for COVID-positive individuals: case management, case investigation, case monitoring, contact tracing, and contact monitoring. The CTC will contact you to determine the extent of the exposure and assist in treatment and notification support for you and others that you may have come in contact with. The following graphic illustrates this process should you test positive and shows how you can help stop the spread of COVID-19. If you are confirmed COVID positive, you contact the Bfit COVID Task Force, who in turn contacts the Boston Public Health Commission. At that point, a Care Resources Coordinator will help you get support you need to self-isolate or quarantine. You will receive a text and then a call from the Massachusetts COVID team or the Boston Public Health Commission's Community Tracing Collaborative, who will ask you for information on your recent contacts. The CTC will reach out to your recent contacts and provide them the help they need to quarantine. At all times, your identity will be protected. Your help with the contact tracing will slow the spread of COVID-19. Practice social distancing. Everyone must adhere to at least 6 feet social distancing when around others. Bfit will limit the number of individuals on site to minimize the potential of any exposed individual being in close contact. Please follow these specific requirements of social distancing. All persons, including faculty, staff, students, visitors, and vendors, shall remain at least 6 feet apart to the greatest extent possible, both inside and outside the campus. The academic schedule has been readjusted to permit limited student and employee access to campus. Students and faculty will be on campus for laboratory courses only. Each lab will consist of no more than 9 students and 1 faculty member, to align with the governor's established cap of 10 people maximum for in-person meetings. To minimize prolonged close contact between individuals within a group, to the degree possible, Bfit has made thorough adjustments to activities, classroom configurations, and other ways of supporting classroom teachers to adjust. All academic programs, lectures, classroom learning, student-teacher support, with the exception of practical training and lab training, has been converted to online communication and learning only. All student support services will remain virtual, and there should not be one-to-one student meetings taking place on campus. However, in the rare event that we have need for an emergency meeting space with 1 staff person, the tutoring space in the Academic Success Center can be used for this purpose. Each classroom laboratory has adequate space to allow for students' interaction with equipment while maintaining a 6-foot distance from others. Excess seating and tables shall be removed to discourage congregating. The Career Center Computer Lab will be used as a monitored waiting area for students who are transitioning between labs. No more than 10 students will be allowed in each space at any given time. Again, the Career Center Computer Lab will be used as a monitored waiting area for students transitioning between labs. If an overflow area is needed, we will program the library for this purpose. During the time that students are present, these spaces will be staffed by a member of the Student Affairs team to ensure physical distancing is observed at all times. Materials and equipment used by individual students will minimize sharing and promote distancing. Each student will clean the equipment they have worked with after each use. Equipment has been positioned at least 6 feet apart. Wear a face covering. Everyone must wear a face covering at all times on the Bfit property. If you arrive at campus without a face covering, one will be provided by security. Practice good personal hygiene and hand washing. Refrain from touching your face and wash your hands frequently, especially after coming in contact with any public areas, such as restrooms. Hands should be washed for a full 20 seconds to kill germs. Hand washing and hand sanitation is provided in all active technical laboratory classrooms, administration offices, and common areas. Bathroom and classroom laboratory sinks will be stocked with disinfectant soaps and disposable paper products to ensure adequate hand hygiene is maintained. The use of hand sanitizing dispensers will be provided in all active areas. Limited and monitored building occupancy. Students and faculty will be on campus for laboratory courses only. Each lab will meet no more than once a week and will consist of no more than 9 students and 1 faculty member to align with the governor's established cap to 10 maximum people for in-person meetings. Students have been carefully scheduled to minimize the number of faculty, staff, and students who are in the building at any given time. Our cleaning and disinfecting protocol and promise. Our facilities team will be engaging in more frequent and robust cleaning protocols to ensure our utmost contribution to a sanitary environment. We ask you to augment those efforts by routinely cleaning and disinfecting your workspaces and wiping training equipment and doorknobs, at least daily or the end of class, and let them air dry. We also have processes in place to perform enhanced deep cleanings of a workplace if anyone tests positive for COVID-19. A schedule and log for cleaning all active areas of the building has been developed to ensure that all active areas, materials, furniture, and equipment used for students and staff are safely and properly cleaned, sanitized, and disinfected. High-touch and highly trafficked areas of the building, lobby, and hallways, like doorknobs, light switches, and railings, and commonly used spaces in offices, like the bathrooms, financial aid and admissions suite, the Academic Success Center, and the Kendall Administration Building, will be cleaned 3 times a day by Bfit's sanitation staff. Materials and equipment used by individual students will minimize sharing and promote self-cleaning. Each student will work with their own personal lab equipment. All equipment, tools, and high-touch surfaces will be cleaned by the faculty or student using them after each use, using EPA-approved disinfectant wipes. Respect the community. Reports on the spread of COVID infections are a source of stress and concern for many. But it is critical that we pause and reflect on how our words and reactions can affect others during this global health crisis. Now more than ever, it is important for all members of the Bfit community to treat one another with care and dignity and play an active role in helping keep the Bfit community safe during this pandemic.